Hello and welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some signs that God may be trying to use to show you that this person is not meant to be in your life. I know that discerning God's will for our relationships can be challenging at times, but if you feel like you're constantly hitting roadblocks in this relationship, you are struggling to find out if this person is meant to be your future husband or wife, then this video is for you. So without further ado, let's get right into it. First sign is the lack of inner peace. If you are in a toxic relationship, you may constantly find yourself feeling uneasy, anxious, or stressed. Your gut instinct tells you that something isn't right. Usually, people tend to ignore this. Have a persistent feeling that something is off in this relationship. It's important to seek God further on whether you should really be with this person. The Bible says that God is not the author of confusion. God is a God of peace. Usually, peace is a sign that whatever decision you're making is actually God's will. If there's confusion, if there is restlessness within you, if there's constant unease about this person, whenever you think about a future with them, then that is a very bad sign. The second sign, red flags and unhealthy behavior. Unhealthy behaviors can manifest itself in various different ways. And of course, as human beings, people have been through different things, grown up, different experiences, different traumas and pains and hurts, and it does tend to affect people's behaviors in the way that they show up to relationships, in the way that they treat other people. However, there are some other behaviors that are very, very bad red flags, especially when the person isn't willing to work on their character. Behaviors like being controlling, being abusive, being violent, these are not things that you should ignore. Other things can include emotional manipulation and physical aggression. The person that God has for your future isn't going to have these characters, because God wants you to actually enjoy marriage. God wants you to actually live a joyful life. But how can you live a joyful life if you're constantly being threatened, if you're constantly being abused? For instance, if your partner constantly tries to isolate you from family and friends, this is a red flag, because usually what abusers tend to do is that they want to isolate their victims so that they are more easy to control and they are the only ones who have, a prominent position in their lives. Misaligned values and goals. Usually when God wants two people together, he usually wants them to walk, in agreement on a lot of things. He wants them to be able to see life in a similar way. And what I mean by this is having the same values and goals means that it reduces the tendency for a lot of arguments, especially when it comes to big decisions of life. For example, making a decision on whether the kids should go to church with you guys, but if he or she is not, if he or she doesn't see being a Christian is very important, and that could cause issues. And you also want to be partnering with somebody who their goals in life are in alignment with yours as well, so you can walk hand in hand, supporting each other, encouraging each other. The example is if you are a person who prioritizes financial stability, but this is a person who loves spending frivolously and just doesn't care too much about budgeting and prioritizing good financial health, things like that is definitely going to cause problems. So if you're somebody who's good at money, you want to also find somebody who's good at money or who's willing to learn and change from their ways as well. Constant turmoil. Now, relationships require effort, right? We know that relationships require effort, they require work. But if you find yourself constantly being in arguments, being in a toxic environment, feeling uneasy, being afraid, God is urging you to step back and reassess the compatibility of this partnership. Remember, a healthy relationship should bring peace and not strife. The final sign that I want to talk about today is resistance and constant obstacles in the relationship. Now, a healthy relationship should flow naturally with both partners supporting and uplifting each other. However, if you constantly find yourself experiencing resistance in life, it may indicate an unhealthy dynamic. For example, if your partner consistently dismisses your ideas, your opinions, your values, if you frequently have arguments that lead to shouting or even physical violence or just aggressiveness, even with a tone of talking, God's plans for our lives are perfect. And sometimes that means steering us away from relationships that don't align with his divine purposes for us. And while it may hurt in the moment, while it may not make sense in the moment, I want to encourage you to truly learn to trust God, even in the area of your love life and your relationships, because He does care and He does want you to be with the right person. Being with the right person will make a tremendous difference in your life, and you'll know when you're with the right person. There's not going to be a second guessing. There's not going to be those doubts that just affect your life negatively. The right person will bring light, joy, peace to your life. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment your thoughts down below as well. I would love to talk with you guys and know your experiences as well in this topic. I pray that today's video has blessed you and encouraged you. Next time, stay blessed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.